Hi, welcome back. My name is Eileen Head, the Relationship Whisperer, and this is going to be part 2 of the relationship deadly sin, not speaking up in relationships, and why that might be. So I'm going to give you info on the dynamics that can happen between two personalities in couple dynamics. I want to remind you that personality is formed about the age of 7. And what happens is this child looks out on the family of origin and decides and forms a belief that they need to be a certain way in order to get the most love and attention. And then they form patterns around that belief. The patterns become the structure of the personality. So the bottom line is you're really being run by a 7-year-old child and the beliefs that a child formed at that age. And these are all unconscious until we delve into the personality deep work of it and understand what our patterns are and why we form that belief and how they're unconscious in our lives still today and sabotage us in our relationships from getting loved the way we need. It's fascinating when each personality discovers, you mean this is really the program that's running underneath and I wasn't even aware of it. And see, once you bring it into consciousness, you've had other beliefs. I'm sure that, beliefs about money, beliefs about different things. And when you really look at the belief, you think, I don't really believe that anymore. Or maybe you've had the experience like me where you say something and it's like your mom or dad fell out of your mouth. I've even said that to my brothers. Has that happened to you? And they go, yeah. And you're looking at what you say and you think, I don't even believe that anymore. That shows you the unconscious beliefs that are really running you, and you need to identify those and change the pattern and the beliefs. So what is it that we're looking for in our relationships? Well, we're looking to see if our partner really loves us. Even when we're at our craziest, do they support us? Do they understand us? Do you even understand you? What's going to happen if you don't seek the information? Well, there's all sorts of things that can happen. Your relationship can be filled with confusion, frustration, struggle, stress. It can eventually lead to separation and divorce, with causing huge wounds or maybe rewounding you. It can also affect your health and well-being, because what you're really looking for is a partner who loves you for all of you to the depth of your being, that you create connected, loving relationships, that your life is full of peace and harmony in order to be happy. But the challenges are, well, people will say, well, yeah, I'm willing to work, but my partner isn't. Relationships can be absolutely shifted, even with just one of you doing the work. And I've had that experience with some of my clients. One of my clients said, you wouldn't believe my husband. I came and did this work. He's mirroring everything that I'm doing. It's like he's a total different man. He's excited about life. He's doing stuff he never did before. She came and she did the work. So I'm going to, right now, let's delve into the 9 different personalities and why they speak up or why they might not speak up. And if you saw the previous post, you'll see the diagram of the Enneagram personalities. The Enneagram's been around since the 1700s. It's a well-respected, well-researched model. It's taught at prestigious universities like Stanford, lots of universities. Companies use it to show the leadership style of each of the personalities, each of the employees, what their career currency is, what they bring. Religions teach it, therapists use it, counselors, psychologists. It's a well-rounded model. And it's unique from all other personality models that are out there in that it has what's called a path of development. It shows you what those BS patterns are that are sabotaging you, and specifically for your personality, what patterns to change. And let me tell you, that is so freeing in life. I really know what's going on for me now. So let's delve into it. Speaking up, the one perfecters, they're a fiery personality, especially when they're defending their rules and their way of life. Because as a child, they came to believe that they needed to be good and they always needed to be right in order to get loved. So they're always working for this perfection of doing everything absolutely right. They're focused on details. And so they want you to follow their rules. They believe that if you follow their rules, it'll be a perfect life. So they will speak up. And if you're in a relationship with a one and you don't speak up, that can shift the dynamics, right? Especially over time, there will be resentment, frustration, as there are in all relationships when there is not great communication. If the personality does not understand or recognize their patterns of what they're doing, they can sabotage the relationships. So the two supporter. The BS belief for the two supporter is that I must put everyone else's needs before myself in order to be loved. And so often in relationships, they won't speak up. They're often married to someone else or in a relationship with someone else who takes the lead in speaking. And in some cases, does that through passive aggressive behavior. The two will suppress their own needs in order to get loved, and so may not speak up unless they've gone to their path of development. The three achiever personality, they are the schmoozers, the networkers. They've got the achiever fever. They know how to get things done and to talk to people and to be successful. So they're pretty good at speaking up for what they need and claiming. The four expressor is a more dramatic personality. They are very expressive with their feelings and with their emotions, but they can get shut down very quickly when they feel that they are deficient, or they might be judged, or they may be overly emotional, and others may not be able to understand their emotions or know what to do with the emotions. So that can create an unbalance until the four expressor begins to understand their own dynamics. The five contemplator, they are although they're introverted, they are the intellects. So they're pretty good at articulating their wants and needs, and because time and space is really important to them, they are pretty good at stating those boundaries and speaking up for what they need. The seven optimister, they're the fun personality. They believe that in order to be fun, you need to be unstructured, open to possibilities, anything that's coming along. So often they will speak up. When they don't, when any personality shuts down, it's when their needs aren't being met. So the sevens are pretty good they get people excited about life. Oh, let's go do that, or wouldn't that be fun? So they're pretty good at expressing their own needs. The eight asserter is the strongest communicator. They are very direct. They believe in speaking up, stating it like it is, take it like it is. So they're very strong in their communication. And if they are unaware, they may not know that they're not enrolling their partner, they're steamrolling their partner. And again, over time, the dynamics can be very damaged through this. And then there's the 9 peace seeker, who believes that if they speak up, that may cause conflict. As a child, they might have been in a family with lots of conflict, so they just came to believe, just keep quiet, don't say anything. And then they're frustrated when their own needs aren't being met because they've given up conflict to get peace and harmony, but it never really works that way. So if you look at some of the dynamics, maybe if we put the 4 expressor, who's a emotionally sensitive, very expressive person who experiences life, and they're partnered with the 8 asserter, who is the least likely before growth to go into vulnerability. There can be some challenges. They may see the emotions as being weak. So how do you negotiate that in a relationship together of the couple dynamics? Or the 6 questioner that seeks assurance through they look on the horizon for what are the worst case scenarios so they can be prepared. Well, if they are in a relationship, who do we want to pick here? If they're in a relationship with the, let's say the 7 optimister, 7 optimisters really don't have any fear. They just go for it. Here's a possibility. They don't think consequences down the road. They just launch in. whereas the sixth questioner is looking at all the worst case scenarios in order to be secure. Now that can also be a great pairing, right? You have one of you who's managing that part of your relationship and another who's bringing that in. And that's what the Enneagram personality work is all about. It's understanding your two dynamics together. What are your strengths together? What do you each bring to the relationship? What are your gifts? And then what are the challenges to the other person with your patterns? And how do you step into that common ground in the middle where you become aware of your impact and you work to support and connect with your partner? Because that's where it's at. That's how you build connected, loving, aware, conscious relationships. And in the journey of that, if you do the work, you will grow and you won't. As people grow, they release themselves from the box of these personality patterns as much. Some of the main ones are still there. I still get triggered into maybe intrusively helping at times or putting other people before what I really want, but I'm aware of it and I'm conscious of it and I get to work on that. And what it does for me, this work has given me so much. I don't have a lot of drama in my life anymore. I don't attract dramatic people. I feel a sense of power and control because I can recognize the personality patterns. I can understand the pattern of the person who may be upset with me so I can respond to them directly. My self-esteem, my self-confidence has gone up. And in a stressful situation, I don't need to knee-jerk reaction. I don't need to defend or blame or attack the other person. I can take a deep breath and I can respond to them. And it diffuses so many situations when you get this skill of being able to not only manage yourself, but understand other people compassionately where they're at. And there are 9 levels of behavior within each personality, from very unhealthy behaviors to healthy behaviors. So learning these skills is a life path to happiness and getting loved the way you need and the way you desire. So tune in tomorrow. The third deadly relationship deadly sin is, well, this is just the way I am. We're going to have a discussion on that. And please, if you have any questions, shoot me a message and I'll be happy to address them on the webinar or the Facebook Live here, or give you some insights for your specific situation. Thanks for tuning in today.